of the day. We're so happy, following the blues. We love you, what more can we say? Let's see you in the cup, singing our song, helping and sharing the load. It's worth the point at home when we sing together. We're there at the end of the road. We are the lads from the Tilton. We'll support you till the end of the day. We're so happy, following the blues. We love you, what more can we say?
Talk show sponsored by Blue Sports, principal sponsor of Birmingham City Football Club. And of course, with our good friends SAS Autos, Bawdsey Labour Club, and the Garrison Coffee Company. In our midst tonight, we have superstars, ladies and gentlemen, superstars, should I just say.
Thank you.
But before we go any further, we pay respects to Gerard Houllier, who has sadly passed away, ex-manager of, and I never normally say these two words, ex-manager of course, Aston Villa, Liverpool and France. And we footballers lost an absolute gem today, so we pay respects and give our best wishes to the family, and our hearts and thoughts are with everybody concerned. Now, ladies and gentlemen, on with the show because we've got loads to get through tonight. We have with us, of course, the one and only Mr. Mark Adams.
Evening, everyone. Hope everyone's okay.
Mr. Paul Hitkiss.
Good evening, all.
Mrs. Brown.
Good evening.
And the superstar is Kerys Harrop. Kerys Harrop, ladies and gentlemen.
Who are ya? Who are ya? Who are ya? Who are ya? Who are ya?
Hi, everyone.
Not just that, though, girls and boys. We've got a double whammy tonight. We've also got friend of the show, Aofie Mannion.
Whoa, who are ya? Who are ya? Who are ya?
Hello.
Great to see you again, Aofie. Thanks for coming on. And thank you as well, Kerys, for giving you time for the Monday night for the Tilton Talk Show. It's what Mondays are for. Now, loads to get through tonight. But as I say, absolutely heartbreaking story about Gerard Houllier. I mean, that was as if the year hasn't been bad enough, Chris.
Yeah, a bit of a shocker, wasn't it?
Mm.
Yeah, I don't think he's been very well for a long time, has he? He was quite ill when he was at Villa, wasn't he?
I think that's what he had to pack up, didn't he, in the end?
Yeah, he left at the end, didn't he? Yeah.
Mm.
Shame.
Very sorry.
Shame. Awful.
Right, okay, so onwards we go for the next hour and a half. It's ladies' night tonight, so we're going to indulge and find out what our Kerys and Aofie have been up to since they both left the Blues. And Paul, we've had a couple of games, and I know I had a little bit of a rant after one of the games last week, and I'm genuinely sorry if I upset anyone. I don't do that. It's passion, right? It's passion. That's all it is. And I probably wrote it, then did the ultimately stupid thing by not reading it twice before I posted it. So there you go. But I'm going to leave it there because it's had that much reaction to it. So onwards with the show, Paul. Right, yeah. Two games, mate. That Reading game, blimey.
Yeah, that first half was the best I've seen us play since Bristol City away last season. Bristol City away last season, we were outstanding. If you remember, we beat them 3-1. And first half, wow, I mean, John Terrell, how good was it to see like him back? Yeah. So I thought I'd got Doc on the time machine and gone back to 2015 again. But yeah, he was. I mean, him and Sanchez were just causing them no end of problems, weren't they? All the way through the first half. Yeah, and we were brilliant. We were on the front foot. We took the game to them, and you got to remember, they've having a really good season. Reading are so.
If they'd have won.
Yeah, so excellent result at Reading. And then I'm not going to lie, I was a bit surprised by the team selection. And I know we went down to the 10 men, another ridiculous penalty decision. And it would have been an injustice if Etheridge hadn't saved it, because it was justice that he didn't score, because it was never a penalty, was it? He blocked the shot. And it was a perfectly good challenge. And we seem to be getting these dubious decisions, shall I say, against us quite a bit. And obviously the one on Saturday for me as well. I mean, I know Pedersen's committed himself from behind, and if he did get any of the ball, then it was only minor. But for me, it looked soft.
I put a picture on a private page earlier showing you that his foot hits the ball.
Yeah, and I get that it's difficult for the officials to see that from where they are, but to me, it was, to be honest, it was very soft. I just thought it was a soft challenge anyway, and it wasn't really. I don't think he was going to score from there. And yeah, I just don't think it was a penalty in my opinion, you know. But yeah, but other than that, we did okay, didn't we? We played well in the game, and you know, again, another good side in Watford, and with all the changes that we made, you know, I think 0-0 would have been a fair result, and we could have nicked it with obviously San Jose in the post. But I was a bit surprised, and like I say, you know, playing so long with 10 men on Wednesday night, and you know, I guess some of the lads would have been a bit tired, but to make that many changes, I was surprised, especially John Terrell after the way he played. I thought he would have.
I couldn't grasp it.
Yeah, no. I thought
he knows best, and that's it.
Yeah, I thought he would have stuck with the 4-2-3-1 again and just changed a couple of players over. You know, you could have give Halalovic a game, and you know, probably could have started Gary Gardner, obviously, and you know, we could have changed the personnel, but stick to the same formation.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
Yeah.
I was surprised he got.
Go on, Mark.
I was going to say I was surprised he Cogley get thrown back in.
Yeah, that was a surprise.
That was a surprise. But having said that, if you'd have offered 6 points out of those 3 games, you'd have bit, you know,
snapped your hand off. Yeah.
Any day,
And this is the progress we're making, Mark. You know, we're disappointed that we've took, you know, we haven't took, well, not maximum points, but we haven't drawn at home to Watford, and you know, we've obviously beat Reading away and Bristol City away prior to that, which was fantastic. But moving forwards now, I just hope that we carry on playing like we did at Reading more often, and we start to, because we can do some serious damage to teams playing like that, and I just hope we do it more often.
I think what you said about Terrell, it's almost like he's got unfinished business. I know it's the old cliche that, you know, you shouldn't go back and all that, but I think he's got a lot of unfinished business, Terrell. I really like him.
What are your thoughts? Yeah, Kerys and Aofie, what are your thoughts on that penalty? Did you see the penalty against us on Saturday?
I didn't know. I didn't see it.
Okay.
I didn't watch the game on Saturday.
I'm the same. I haven't had a chance to watch it back yet. But is it another VAR? Obviously, you don't get VAR, do you? But would VAR have helped in that instance or not really?
I think so. I think definitely the one at Reading 100% would have been overturned. In my opinion, I think so. The one Saturday was probably a little bit more dubious, but
he got the ball.
Got the ball.
I think they would have seen that on the screens, and if he got the ball, definitely, then yeah, he probably would have been overruled as well. So yeah.
I mean, it speaks volumes. He's put a picture of it on his own. Was it Instagram? He put a picture of himself up, Peds. You know, if there's any doubt, he wouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
But you know,
Paul, why didn't we appeal the Harley Dean one then?
Because it was 2 yellows, Nick. You can't appeal 2 yellows. It's only a straight red.
Yeah, got it.
Yeah.
What a ridiculous decision. What a ridiculous rule that is. Let's have that rule scrapped. That is 2 players gone off the field to play for 2 perfectly good challenges. Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Would you like VAR?
Yeah. As Graham just pointed out on the shout box, he says 6 points out of 9, and nobody gave us a chance against those 3 teams.
No,
exactly.
Yeah.
No, it's usually been that. It's been that way. Well, for as long as I can remember, against the better teams, we always do really well.
Yeah.
And then against the lower teams, we seem to struggle, don't we?
Yeah.
You know,
but again, we're sorry, Paul. We say it every week, don't we? To be blue in the face. That's this league all over. It's such a crazy league.
That's why it's one of the best leagues in the world, isn't it? Anybody can beat anybody on any given day.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So you know, you can't just turn up and roll someone over.
No.
Grand stuff. Right, Kerys, what have you been up to then since you left the Blues, Bab?
Not much. You know, COVID, nothing really. No, I've been busy, obviously back in July now, so it's gone quite quick, really. It's weird, isn't it, how, you know, despite COVID and the fact we haven't really been able to do as much as we'd normally do, I feel the year's gone really quick. And, you know, I've already been at Spurs now for 6 months, and it's flew by. So, yeah, just been obviously playing at Spurs. I've moved down to London. Yeah. So they're definitely, you know, they're still grasping my accent at times. Even some of the players still. I haven't had a chance to really meet the fans yet. Obviously, the last 2 games we've had fans in, but still have to kind of stay a distance away. So it's been difficult in that sense, not being able to meet the fans yet. But yeah, it's all good. Enjoying London life, and Well, I was enjoying it in tier 2. I think we're now going to tier 3, so I'll have to
Tier
stay
three.
indoors
Oh,
again.
God, yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
all London football clubs cannot have supporters in anymore. That's it at the moment.
Yeah,
So
so we were really
Such a
lucky, you
shame.
know. Yeah, we were lucky down south to have the fans in. It's been fantastic these last 2 weeks having them in, and especially for you guys as hardcore fans of Blues. You'd love nothing more than to be back there, wouldn't you?
Oh, God,
So you haven't had
yeah.
that opportunity,
Missing
in
it badly.
tier 2. So
Yeah.
you
So
honestly no. Why can't Blues TV put a crowd noise on, or keep right on every 10 minutes? Come on,
Yeah.
come on, we've got the technology to do it. Just it's like you're watching. I don't know. Yeah, I don't
could
know.
be
It's
you
like,
four commentating over it. That's what it should be.
Oh,
you
we'd
guys
love that.
Imagine
We'd
that.
love
cheering
That'd be
and-
nice, I would.
We'd
I
love
don't know if
it.
it'd be PG though if you four on there.
yeah.
Especially after Nick's had a couple of drinks.
Cheers, guys. What about yourself, Aoife? What have you been up to?
Similar story to Kerys, really. Moved away from Birmingham City a little before Kes. So I went to Man City back in July 2019. So, gosh, that's about a year and a half now. It feels like it's just flown by. So I've been there. Unfortunately, I actually did my ACL last year now. And so I'm just coming to the back end of that rehab. It really has dragged on. And hoping that it's weeks rather than months before I return. Praying on that one, so we'll see. That's what I've been up to.
How's it going then?
Yeah, I'm really enjoying it up north. Firstly, it's just a great city. I don't know if you've been to Manchester that much. I haven't really been before I went. I'm living right in the city centre.
Ah, right. Okay.
We got canals and all sorts.
Yeah, that's why I feel at home, because there's a lot of canals in Manchester as well.
Yeah, there's loads, isn't there? Yeah.
Have you been up the Baltic Mile?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, because they actually made claims to the Baltics as well up in Manchester, didn't they? So,
What did you say, Nick?
About
Have you been up the Baltic Curry Mile?
Oh no, I've not heard of that in Manchester.
Yeah.
I've not
Google
heard
it,
of
mate.
that saying. I'll have to Google
The
that.
whole 1 mile full of curry shops.
Aoife,
We're
you're
quite
more of a coffee mile, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I had a black bean curry before I came on tonight. So yeah, I'm very happy to hear that Manchester's curry scene is up there as well. It'll have to be good to rival ours in Birmingham.
Yeah. It's not as good. I've just had a curry as well.
Injury then? How did you get injured in the first place?
I got injured against Atletico Madrid, actually, in the last couple of minutes. Just a tackle, like a contact tackle, yeah. Twisted my back leg and just knew something had happened. It was like a Velcro. That's what it sounded like.
I did mind.
Say that again.
Go on, Nick.
Was that in Spain?
No, it was the home leg. So the away leg was the following one. It was in the Champions League last year.
No.
Yeah, such a shame.
Apparently,
just when I was getting into it.
Aoife, you apparently need to go to the Fab Cafe in Manchester. There you go.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Do we know where that is? I'll have to Google.
It's in Manchester.
In Manchester.
It doesn't sound very legit, does it? The Fab Cafe.
No, it doesn't.
Not really.
I'm not
Sounds
sure
a bit
it's a cafe.
70s, doesn't it?
I don't know what that is.
Get yourself an Uber. Get yourself an Uber and go Fab Cafe.
Graham's just said, what do the girls think of the current Birmingham women's team? There you go.
No, I'll take that one, Aoife.
Go on.
Yeah, obviously, I've still got a lot of friends there. So obviously I was a bit worried when obviously there were a few players leaving. Then I think the kind of introduction of Carla Ward has definitely had a positive impact on the team, and she was able to recruit some more players. But no, they've had a promising start, really. I think got 9 points on the board. Which I think that Carla would maybe say herself that they've surprised a lot of the kind of doubters who thought that the Blues were going to get relegated. But I knew deep down that the girls were going to be fine. They've still got a solid base. They've still got experienced players. From previous seasons that have played there for a few years, and obviously recruiting some new girls that have also got experience as well. So they'll be fine. But yeah, I'm still in contact with a a number of the girls, and I think they really enjoy it. I think under Carl, I think it's had a real good impact.
Yeah, like to just second that as well. It seemed like that they've given the fans a little bit of hope. You know, the talk on social media is quite positive. I kind of go on Twitter as a bit of a fan myself, and obviously that win against Villa a few weeks ago, stuff like that. You know, fans live for that, don't they? So I think the girls are throwing their weight about. They're showing that heart and spirit, and also seem to have a pretty good kind of tactical base to work on. And Carla seems to be getting the best out of them. So long may that continue.
That was great when they were coming out of the tunnel at the end. You could see they wanted that win against the
Oh
yeah.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. So how does the setup at Blues women compare to Manchester City and Tottenham, respectively?
Kerys?
Well, to be honest, I think for me at Tottenham, because Tottenham are pretty much new into the league, they only came into the Women's Super League last season. In terms of like the Birmingham setup, it's probably actually like in some aspects, not all, but probably a little bit more developed in terms of especially like the academy and the younger players. That's probably more established at Birmingham than it is at Tottenham. Tottenham have just started that new this season, but I think just due to the nature of Tottenham, you know, being a bigger men's club, I think obviously, you know, we get to train at the men's training grounds, so the facilities are top notch. Obviously, still was like that at Birmingham as well. But even our Blues are really good to hear after speaking to some of the girls. You just seem things like they get lunch now, which never happened before. So just something as simple as that, you know, Eve would have never imagined that would be that we did get lunch at the men's training ground. So, you know, that's all positive steps for the girls in the right direction. But so similar in some aspects, but then I think just due to the nature of, you know, Tottenham and Man City, just purely financial backing, there's some differences there. Yeah.
And do you interact much with the men's teams at Tottenham and Man City as well? Do you get to see like and Jose and?
Do you? I mean, I've seen Jose a few times, and like you'll drive off in the car and you'll see a couple of players walking past, but generally know that they're separate to us. They've got their own like separate building. I don't know what it's like at Man City.
We're sort of on the same complex, kind of in the same building. Basically, there's a big indoor 3G pitch, and on one side is like the men's side of the building, and on the other side is the sort of academy men and the women. So probably similar to Kerys, really. Like you see cars, you kind of might every now and again walk past people, but it's not like you're not chilling in a common room with people, or you're not hanging out with them as such. I know that some girls do get on really well with some of the men. And so I think them relationships are getting there. You know, you hear of so-and-so's followed me on the Instagram or the Twitter. And so people are interested. Last week, Pep came and watched a game before he had a game. Yeah, so you get them little bits because it's all on the same ground.
Yeah.
Whereas obviously in years gone by before at Birmingham, before we were at the men's ground, you know, you wouldn't get that sort of interaction. Whereas now it's quite easy. You know, sometimes some of the men come and watch our game as our training sessions as they're walking past to do their own. So little things like that, really, not anything like we're not kind of eating at the same places or anything, but it is we are all on the same complex.
Must give you a bit of a buzz then.
I bet, yeah, right. When the blokes do drive past you, they go, "Oh, there's Aoife Mannion there, look."
Yeah, I know. I'm just
Kerys.
Really.
It's funny. It's a funny story. So when Gareth Bale signed, there was all these fans outside, obviously waiting at the entrance. So I've pulled in my little Audi, and I'm like, I should have rolled my window down. I'm like, yeah, thanks. Ended over for me, but obviously they weren't for me. But I should have just done it. I should have
I would have
put my hand out the window, like, yeah, cheers, guys, thanks.
You should have tried to get on that All or Nothing documentary as well.
Yeah.
I think that was filmed last season, and then obviously got cut short because of COVID. I think the girls did get a tiny mention in one of the episodes, but it's a shame actually they didn't do the documentary this season now, because obviously it's different, I guess, because there's no fans in the stadium stuff. But obviously the men are top of the league at the minute, so this probably might be the best season to have filmed it in. Well, obviously on the pitch, maybe not off the pitch, but
yeah.
Good question, just coming from Nigel Mann. Do you think we'll ever see the day of a mixed team?
Oh, good question.
You know, someone asked me that exact same thing the other day. I think football, it's physical enough of a sport whereby I think that there will always be a difference in most cases physically, and there's no denying that. I think that women's football is making leaps and bounds tactically and technically. And so in terms of finesse, I think that will get there. But, you know, I think if there was ever going to be a mixed version of the game, I think we would probably see like the female player being like a rogue number 10 or a false 9, or someone with a little bit of freedom that doesn't need to really recruit their physical ability. Look, I know some female athletes in America who actually would be able to compete, but we're talking about an exception to the rule here. I'm not sure if we're going to ever see a format, and I'm not sure if that's what people really want, you know. I don't know. Kerys, what do you think?
It would be brilliant, wouldn't it? Can you imagine the day that even just one player like made it into like a men's? It's like there's recently that NFL lady. Have you seen? She was the first woman to play for a college team, I believe. But that's obviously different because
she came on
physically. Yeah, exactly. She doesn't have to match up with them because she's just coming on to kick the ball. That's, you know, she's not going in the big tackles or anything.
Yeah,
that's it. She's just a kicker. So yeah, I don't know. Like, I just mean it seems because you got some players, if like the likes of like Lucy Bronze, even Sam Lewis, you know, physically they're strong. It does make you wonder how they'd cope, but it's more the pace, really, isn't it? Like, kind of like, I don't know, Bronzy up against Raheem Sterling, he's just going to knock it past her and run. You know what I mean? So it's more the speed.
It would be interesting to see where the top few women's teams actually are in terms of the Football League structure. Would we be able to be an average Football League 2 team? Technically and like, yes. Tactical wise, I really back ourselves. Physically, there is a big difference. I would actually really like to know the answer of that. Would we be able to smash a Football League 2 team? I don't know.
From the audience, I'm sorry, from Graham Brown, but mixed teams, no, it just wouldn't work. Sorry. And good to have a men's ladies charity match. Over to you, Craig Court.
I was just thinking about that. Yeah, that would be a great idea.
Well, they do it for Soccer Aid, don't they?
Yeah, we certainly had.
What though, Eve? I tell you, and I mean this, right? There would never be 4 minutes of added time at the end of the second half, would there? Because you guys get up quick.
See, you don't get rolling around in our game. So.
But there's certainly, you know, in recent years, more female pundits on Sky and that now, isn't there, and stuff like that. Do you think one day we might see a female manager in the men's game, maybe?
Yeah, one day we will. It's a matter of time. I don't know when, but it will happen. For sure will happen.
I think that's more realistic than what you're talking about, the mixed teams. I think it's more realistic.
I was going to say the same thing. Yeah, I think that's more likely.
Manager.
Yeah, I think that will happen soon. Won't be far.
Hey, question
me or you then, Aoife? Pressure's on.
Sorry, man.
There you go.
Go on, Nick.
Question for both our ladies from Martin Swinscoe. Aoife, you take this one first. If by some chance your two teams could enter the pyramid, which division do you think you'd be in?
That is such a good question. I don't know how much of a thing like the physical difference would play. I'm gonna say I don't know. I don't want to undersell myself and say Football League. Like, we are the top few. What do you think, Kez? You're looking for a straight answer. I need to give you a straight answer. I'm gonna say Football League 2. That's what I'm gonna say.
I think the
quality of our football would be interesting.
A league of Solihull Moors in.
What then?
National League, isn't it?
No, come on. We are.
No, it's hard, isn't it? Like I say, technically, tactically, it'd be higher, but just physically, it's difficult to say because, just men. I'll say this though. I was sitting in. Obviously, I'm injured now, so I'm watching from the stands, and I was watching one of the games last year. I think it was against Arsenal. We packed our little mini stadium where the academy play, and the atmosphere was actually electric. Like, I would have went to that just as a football fan. Now, is every game like that? No, but there are some games now where you're watching some really good football. We've got a girl on our team, Caroline Weir. She's up for the Puskas goal. There are not many men that could score some of the goals that she scored, and so we can get into a conversation about, you know, what league would you be in. I think what's more interesting is just to have a look at the quality of the top crust of games
And it really is something where you go, actually, that's all right. That's good, that is.
Yeah. I think the physicality in the men's game is not the same as it used to be, going back 15, 20 years.
Grealish has proved that, hasn't he?
I don't think there is much physicality at all in the men's game these days.
No.
You know what I mean?
Well, you look at the,
Kerys or Aofie taking out Grealish.
what was that? What was it? What did you say about Grealish?
He would love to see Kerys or Aofie taking out Grealish. Just take him out.
I think that'd certainly happen, wouldn't it? If he could manage
Oh,
that
yeah.
between us.
Oh,
Yeah. Crikey. Just blow on him. Just blow on him as you walk past.
Yeah, that's it, yeah. Wouldn't need to do anything, he'd fall over.
From Adam Wilkes, he says he thinks the only time we might see a mixed team could be one time only at the Olympics, maybe.
Maybe, yeah.
No, I think it's a while off. But there again, we got fourth officials. You know, that would have been unheard of like 30 years ago, wouldn't it? Really? You know?
Think about some of the tackles that you could put in the men's game 20 years ago. You can't do that today. Like the game is actually less physical in that sense.
Absolutely.
It's just it's the raw speed, you know. Like we know, Kez, when we used to play as the senior women's team, you'd play the under 15 boys, under 16 boys, and in terms of your technique and tactics, you would be miles beyond. But all they'd have to do is just slot it in the gap, and you'd get 2 or 3 players just run after the ball, and you can't like that. That makes it very, very difficult, you know.
What do you guys think? Was it Roy Keane was talking, wasn't he, about Manchester Derby the other day? And I it's just not the same, is it? There's no like crunching tackles, and they're all friends with each other, and
they're all hugging each other.
They're all hugging each other now, aren't they? At the end of the game, it's just
true what he says. Like he's proper old school, isn't he? I love that about Roy Keane.
Oh yeah, no, I do. Yeah.
We miss that element of the game, but I don't think he'll ever return. Really, do you?
I think sometimes he talks. I think he talks before he thinks sometimes. But yeah, I do love him.
Yeah.
He's great. Yeah, characters, what we need.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I'll put some questions out in the week, and I'll ask it to both of you. Actually, you can both answer one at a time. So, what is both of your proudest moment in a Blues shirt, which is asked by Stephen Gill?
Because you've got a clear one.
Obviously winning the FA Cup final in 2012 was definitely the best, and that was obviously the first time we'd won a major trophy. So obviously I've been at Blues for 12 years before that time, and then finally went to it.
Then you was there a long time, yeah.
Since I was 10, yeah.
Oh right, okay.
20 years, yeah, long time. So
it's in your blood now.
That's it. It's running through my veins, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, definitely FA Cup final for me. Like that whole team, like those 2011 to 13 was, you know, reaching Champions League semi-final, and we had such a brilliant team. We should have won the league twice, and we just lost it in the last game. So.
The famous Girls of Birmingham song.
See, that's the one, yeah.
Yeah, I remember it. Yeah.
Yeah. Was that at the Millennium Stadium, or was it?
It was Bristol.
No, it would have been at the new Wembley.
No,
wouldn't
that
it?
was
Bristol,
yeah.
Bristol, yeah.
Oh, was it Bristol?
Bristol, yeah. They famously cut the game at the end, didn't they? The TV, they cut it right at the end.
Oh yeah, that'll do. Yeah.
Yeah, crazy. Oh, well.
What about you, Eve? What's your favourite moment? Proudest?
I think the obvious one is this. Obviously, I wasn't at Blues when you guys won the FA Cup, and I just can't imagine what that feeling was like. And the closest that we got to it was obviously the final. So that's the obvious one to go for. You mentioned the semi-final of the Champions League. I'll never forget Solihull Moors being absolutely packed out.
Yeah.
That was, and there was loads of people after that game that I knew, but they weren't football fans. And he said, "Oh, I went to that game with my daughter, or I went to that game." You know, teachers at school just went to it just because it was like something entertaining. That was really like, oh wow, you know.
Yeah, I remember that.
To think about the training ground that we used to train on as well. Yeah, we used to train behind Solihull Moors, and how we didn't get injuries just at training, I do not know. You know, that was like roll your ankle city. If you want to get resilient, like you want to be training on that pitch we were training on.
It's all nice now, isn't it? They've got a 4G, so they don't have to worry about that.
In some ways, I think it actually fragilises players. You know, when everything is so neat, any little disruption, then you're really vulnerable to it. I know I do all my rehab on basically what's like a matte carpet and it was never like that years back. You know, it was holes everywhere, bubbles everywhere.
It's like playing on tables now, isn't it?
It's all, sorry, Dick.
It's like playing on snooker tables now.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine you ever being as immature as the men, obviously. But is there any good pranks that you play on each other as well in the dressing room and stuff like that, and around the training ground?
I think, well, one of my teammates at Spurs, who was also at Blues, Rach Williams. I think she's definitely the prankster, isn't she? Like,
she used to jump out of things, didn't she?
Yeah, she'd always go into. There was one where she was hiding in this. It was like a storage box where there was like towels made in there or something. And she was literally sat there for about 10 minutes, like boiling hot, like couldn't breathe because he had a lid on it, waiting for one of our staff members to go past. And then it was Carl Green. He was a sports science at the time, and he was chatting to the people in the physio room. And then she was recording it. She had her phone on inside. And she just burst out and was like, "Carl, what is?" He absolutely cracked his pants. So funny. She was brilliant. Stuff like that, Rach was. Yeah.
Just as bad as the men, then.
Oh yeah. Worse probably.
Yeah. And who was your football idols growing up? Like when you first got into football as kids, obviously, who was your favourite players and who inspired you to play the game?
You know, I really liked Robbie Savage at Blues.
Yeah.
I think I seen him as like a little bit rugged. I think I sort of identified.
Yeah.
I kind of related to him a little bit, and he had that long hair as well, didn't he? When now and when he used to play.
He's probably watching.
Yeah. We ribbed him about his hair, didn't we, last time he came?
Yeah, we had him on earlier in the year. It's a great show with him. Yeah.
Oh, fantastic!
Us in the summer, yeah.
Yeah, if you get a chance to watch it, Aofie and Kerys, watch it. He was so honest that day. We actually asked him before the show. We said, like, is there anything you don't want us to ask? You know, thinking he's going to say, don't ask that. But he said, no, ask me anything. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
It was fantastic. He really was.
Yeah. Just have a bit of personality about himself. It's good.
Yeah. But that era when he played Robbie Savage, obviously they were great times, which I hope we can get back something like that again one day soon. You know.
Yeah, there's battle. Like we talk about the physicality. Like that's me. He was one of them physical players, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'd have that back again, but whether it will return, I don't know.
Horsfield
what about you,
was another
Kerys?
One that I liked.
Who's that? Sorry.
Horsfield was another one.
Jeff Horsfield, legend, isn't he?
Feed the horse. I remember that. I was so young, but I remember that little line is etched into my memory. And also, you don't know what you're doing. That everyone used to sing to the referee.
Yeah. Did you used to go a lot to the home games then? Did you go a lot to watch the men's team when you was a child?
I did, yeah, with my dad. I went to see quite a lot of them.
Yeah.
I remember, was it a 7-1 defeat against Liverpool?
Yeah,
I remember that. I remember people throwing their tickets onto the pitch after the game.
Yeah. What are we saying about good days?
Stephen Gills just says, I was at the Arsenal quarter-final game, a great atmosphere, a great goal from Remy Allen, said Stephen Gill.
That was at St Andrews, wasn't it?
Remember.
I think she'd only just signed. Yeah, that was a great start. That was a good little era that was after that as well.
Stephen's also said he was at Ashton Gate, and Kim's just says that she went to the cup final at Wembley. That's a couple of seasons ago now, isn't it? Yeah, I was at the one at Wembley as well. So Kerry, same question to you. Who was your sort of favourite player as a child, and who inspired you to play the game?
I think it was mainly the women's. It was Kelly Smith, old England and Arsenal player. You know, I think I still believe now she's the best player that England's ever produced. You know, she was left-footed. I was left-footed. I used to play midfield at the time as well. She was a midfielder. And then like she went off to America as well, and that was something I'd always dreamed of, like going to America, because I really idolised her. But again, she was, you know, kind of ravaged with injury, really. So you never really saw or got the best out of her. In terms of the men, I think I used to love Steven Gerrard growing up again, because I was a centre midfielder. And obviously the obvious David Beckham as well. But that was my kind of era. Steven Gerrard, David Beckham, them type of players.
Yeah. It makes you wonder what they'd be worth in today's transfer market, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Scary to think about that.
It's a good question. He wants you to be honest. Nigel says, come on, any swearing on the pitch like the men?
Oh, you do get a little bit. You do get a bit.
Definitely from me.
No way.
Yeah. You'd be surprised, you know. You'd be really surprised.
Aoife's nicer than me. I'll
Do you
just say
think,
it is.
That's nice of you to say.
Well, you do, yeah. You're more polite. She's from Solihull, you see. She's had a good upbringing.
Oh, we're
I was
posh.
born
We're
and
posh.
bred in Hall Green.
We're posh.
Late moved to Solihull, okay?
We're posh in Solihull.
Does my accent sound like someone who's from Solihull? No, it doesn't.
Does mine?
Does mine?
And we got one last question from well, not a question really. It's more of a statement from Lee Mailing. He just Lee Mailing.
Lee, legend. Yeah, he's my coffee man.
He's
Still
a
waiting for
coffee
a
man,
coffee
yeah.
when I go end of season.
Yeah, is Kerry's looking forward to a cappuccino from her favourite coffee man from the Garrison Coffee Company before the last game of the WSL season when Spurs are away to Blues, ironically.
Yep, there you go. I'll be there, rocking up early.
Yeah, always a pleasure to see Kerys at the sportnation.bet stadium before a game. And as Roy said, someone who Blues should have honoured by retiring a shirt after 20 odd years as a loyal service to the club and community.
Statue, that's what I say.
Yeah, I need a statue outside the ground. I'm hoping at least a picture in the Legends Lounge, but we'll see.
That's not too much to ask.
That's not Kaz Carney's got one, so I think I deserve one for being there 20 years.
Yeah.
I think I've had my picture taken in the Legends Lounge.
There you go. Yeah, it just needs to go on the wall now.
Right, I forgot to mention at the top of the show, we've got to give grateful thanks to our good friends at Switch Radio. We go out there tomorrow night. I think it's at 9 o'clock, Chris, or 10 now?
Tomorrow night, it's 10 o'clock tomorrow night, yeah.
10 o'clock. 10 o'clock tomorrow night, you can re-listen to the show on Switch Radio, and we have to congratulate them for scooping 5 huge awards this weekend at Radio Awards. Absolutely incredible. Chris, you know more than...
Absolutely fantastic. Well, they've won community awards, national community awards, and they won best radio station in Birmingham as well, I think, up against WM and so forth and so forth. So well done.
Wow.
Yeah, well done.
Well done.
Yeah.
And a big thanks from all of us for hosting us as well, because it means an awful lot. I think we're one of the, if we weren't the first, I think we're one of the first football broadcasters to kind of go out on mainstream radio.
Yeah, fans radio, yeah, fans club, yeah. Did.
I've got a question I want to throw out there to everybody. So, do we know what happened 4 years ago today?
Nick bought a point?
Yeah, yes, I do. Yes. Sharon's granddaughter was 13.
What was that?
Sharon's granddaughter was 13 years old 4 years ago today.
Oh,
Happy
okay.
birthday.
Well,
Hang on a minute.
Hang on.
Was it Rowan?
Yeah.
He was sacked, wasn't he?
We sacked Gary Rowett 4 years ago today.
Yeah.
And in my frustration at the time, and I did post this quite soon after I heard, but I still feel that way now. I mean, I did say, shocking decision by the Blues today. I hope I'm wrong, is what I said. But I predict that Gary Rowett will be in the Premier League before we are. I know. So what do we think now? 4 years on, it's been a roller coaster ride. But who do we think? Because that question is still up for debate. Who do we think will be in the Premier League first, Blues or Gary Rowett?
Blues.
Good question.
Right, hang on. Has he got to take a team to the Premier League or get a job in the Premier League?
Either or. He's got to make himself a good enough manager to get a job in the Premier League, hasn't he? So, yeah.
Okay, well, I'll predict Blues.
Okay. I hope you're both right. Kerys, what do you reckon?
Tough one. I gotta say Blues, you know. I'll be throwing off the show, boys.
Eva, what do you reckon?
I think all of our hearts are saying Blues. I think that our minds might be saying something else.
Yeah.
What do our viewers think?
Graham's put in your eyes. He says Rowett was sacked. Did you say he left or?
Well, sacked then.
Yeah,
we sacked Gary. I said we sacked Gary Rowett 4 years ago today, didn't I?
No, I don't think.
Yeah.
Did you? Oh, right,
Did I?
okay.
Did I not?
Adam Wilkes says,
Maybe I
was he for Blues when Ellen White was there? And if so, what was it like linking back up?
Yeah. We went at the same time, actually, moving from Birmingham to City. She's a class player. And in between that time when she went from Birmingham City, obviously, she did so well at the it was the World Cup, wasn't it?
World Cup, yeah.
The World Cup,
Yeah.
she was nearly the top goal scorer, and so she definitely went to City on an absolute high, you know, and people knew her name, and she did so well for us at Birmingham, especially in a time when you could argue that we weren't attracting necessarily the players of that kind of name. You know, years gone by, Kes will tell you, like back around the 2012 era, when we won the FA Cup, when you guys won the FA Cup, the club did attract them players. But to have a player like Ellen, I remember, I never forget her coming on the first training session. And I was a little bit late that day. I can't remember. I came onto the pitch, saw Ellen White, didn't know anything else. And it just was like, my mouth just dropped a little bit. And I went up to her and I said, "Are you signing for us?" And she turned around and she went, "Yeah, is that okay?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's okay. It's more than okay." So there's definitely, like, I really respected Ellen. I thought she was very professional at her time here. Like, it's easy to be professional at a club like City where the facility, everything's there, you know, it's all under the umbrella of the men. And Birmingham were going through a real transition phase when Ellen came to Blues, and Ellen is the same Ellen wherever she is, and that's a testament to her character, how professional she is.
Nice lady as well.
Remind me of a goal celebration again, because I remember seeing it in the World Cup. It was it that? Not Big on Vale. Oh, no, that was it.
That's it.
That one, something like that.
Yeah, it's that one, isn't it?
Please, that one.
That's Gareth Bale, isn't it? Yes, that.
You did the upside down one.
I can't do it.
Do you know, when she started doing it, I think she maybe did it upside down and then probably got bored after scoring so many goals.
In it, yeah.
She just goes like that.
Right.
She's just scoring all the time.
Yeah, she's a quality finisher.
There aren't many people who can finish on a one or two touch. If you play that ball in front of her, it's her in the whole league, I'd say, that you want to be striking that ball.
Yeah.
Paul Lilly just says, what was Mark Skinner like at Blues ladies manager? As Blues manager.
I think you can tell by my face, Kes.
Yeah, I think we both. He was brilliant. Like, he's the one that like you said, that era, that time when Ellen came to the club, he was basically the factor really for her coming, wasn't it? You know, he'd done all this prior research on her before, and he basically presented her with this like development plan to basically say how I can make you a better player. Whereas I can't imagine many other managers that were coming in for at the time would do that. So yeah, his attention to detail was just second to none, and the amount of work he put in, you know, not just on the pitch but away from the field was massive. And yeah, just, you know, been at Blues a long time as well, so you like to see Blue Noses get those higher up positions. He's just a good person, a good person, great coach. And obviously, we were gutted, weren't we, when he went to Orlando? But you know, then at the same time, you're really pleased for him because you want nice people and good managers to have those opportunities to kind of push themselves and challenge themselves.
He was someone that he loves people and he loves football, and that sounds so simple, but actually not everyone is like that. And so even after he's left, whenever someone mentions Mark, my first thing that I do is smile. I think he made his players feel like they could be better, like, and that they could play the best teams and they could beat them. And you know, he took us to Wembley. And that was at a time where we were punching a bit against teams that on paper were better than us, but we never felt like that. And it was Mark that created that spirit. And, you know, it's been a few years now, and I still, you know, really smile and like gush about him and say that I feel really connected to the game so much more having played under him.
Yeah, I've just been reminded that we have had Mark Skinner in the studio, haven't we? And we've had Ellen White as well.
Wasn't it, Chris?
Yeah, there you go.
There we go. A long time ago.
It was a belter of a show, wasn't it, Chris?
Oh, it was a cracking show, yeah. Really nice bloke. Really nice bloke.
Craig Courtney's got a question for Aoife. Whilst Aoife, you were at B6 as a youngster, did you wear a Blues top under your kit to protect yourself?
Great question.
You know, I love the sass on Twitter that both sides give, and I try and engage it obviously as a Blues fan, and I get reminded of the fact that actually I played it. I played there. I did play there at.
You've had a couple of Twitter rants, haven't you?
I did play there at youth level, and so I leave myself open to being reminded of that. It doesn't stop me, you know. I'm still KROing. I'm still doing all the acronyms, you know. The people I played with were very nice. I've got not one bad thing to say about my time anywhere that I've played, actually. But that said, you know, I'm ranting and I'm raving for Blues on Twitter and on social media, and I think that shines through.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. Actually, I've got a question for the girls, actually. You know, Kerys mentioned Orlando a minute ago. Would you still both jump at the chance to play in America?
Kerys?
Yeah, I think I've always wanted to, and you wouldn't actually believe it, but I'm actually half American through my mum.
Yeah.
Yes, you can't tell from the accent, obviously. But yeah, so it kind of would have been easy for me in a sense. But then it's just a hard competitive league to get into. You basically have to be, you know, playing for your senior international team really to be able to go out there and play. But I'd love to, but you know, I'm a big believer in fate, and you know, I was obviously meant to have moved to Tottenham, so yeah, I'm a big believer in that. But obviously, I'm getting on a bit now anyway. I was 30 last week, so it's a bit different for me. But Aoife, you know, Aoife's got the, you know,
I've got shirts. I've got shirts
world ahead of us. So.
I've got shirts older than
that. What about you, Aoife? Something you consider, or
the question was, would I jump at it? Would I bite someone's hand off? You know, I really believe that the English League is the place to be. And so if someone said in the morning you can go and play at XYZ team and they end up selling in America, I wouldn't at this moment, I wouldn't necessarily. But it's so open. I think it's so amazing that if you play football, like you can actually play in different countries. It sounds really like weird, but
it was never a thing really, and I think that's why my opinion is different to Aoife's, because obviously when I was growing up, the American League was the biggest league, and that's the league that everyone wanted to go to. And like you know, I said my idol was Kelly Smith, and all the players kind of who I looked up to were going to the American League. But like, and so I think that's why I have that ambition a bit more than Aoife. But now, yeah, you know, people are actually wanting to come to our league, so it's completely. You know, the tides have changed massively.
Is it still the promised land, or as you're just saying, it's not anymore?
I don't think it's the promised land anymore. You know, we just signed Sam Lewis and Rose Lavelle, 2 American players, won the World Cup with the USA, and that they chose to come to City. You know, Rose Lavelle scored the winning goal, and I think there's been a real influx of players that could play in the American leagues if they chose to, and you know, players are looking at the English League and thinking, you know, you got obviously, Kerys, you got Alex Morgan at Tottenham. You know, it's an attractive offer, and so it doesn't hold the same promises maybe it did 10, 15 years ago. Does that mean that it's not an amazing league? No, of course not. And them opportunities are so exciting. I just think the English League looks really good at the moment.
Aoife, could you have been travelling 2 days to and from a game though?
Yeah,
that's a problem.
You know, I was chatting to one of the American girls last week, and they flew out to Champions League one day. It was Sweden. Came back the following day, and we were all so tired or whatever. And I was saying, "Gosh, you know, traveling abroad." And she said, "Would you believe that little trip is shorter than any of their away legs?" You know, and that was our Champions League leg. That was the furthest we were ever going to do, and that was shorter than what they do, you know, every week or every couple of weeks. And they say sometimes actually it's like a 3-night trip, because with the time difference, they obviously have to travel over and maybe even a day before. And so it's just bizarre, really, to think that actually becomes normal for so many of the girls.
Yeah. Tiring, isn't it? Like I say, number 11 bus is bad enough.
It's all them long, you know, midweek trips to, I don't know, Blackpool or whatnot, you know. They seem tiring enough, don't they, let alone 4-day trip.
Could you imagine going across country in America?
That's it,
What's everyone's longest ever journey going to a Blues game? I think mine has to be the Millennium Stadium after we played Liverpool. I was on the coach, and it took about 8 hours, nearly 8 hours to get back from Cardiff to Birmingham.
Disaster that was that first time,
Yeah.
It was awful.
What's yours, Mark? What's your longest journey from a Blues game?
You know, it would be Newcastle or Sunderland, to be honest.
Yeah.
I remember. I mean, I don't. the one thing I regret is that, the Europa aways, at the time, because of circumstances, whatever, I didn't get to any of the aways. And now, even now, I still regret I didn't even get to Bruges. I had a family member who was ill at the time. But to this day, I'm kicking myself I didn't get to any of the aways. I mean, I've had a season ticket 25 years, but I've never got to an away game in the Europa days. I went to all the homes, but that's my one regret. And I'd love us to get back one day so I can see Blues in Europe.
Mine would have been Wigan away a couple of years ago, Paul. If it hadn't have been for Steve Portman, Stav, Lindsay, and the crew from Accessory Blues who dragged me back into Utoxeter, because I'd have had to have slept on a park bench somewhere overnight, mate. No trains back to here after 5
Surely
o'clock.
that wasn't alcohol inflicted, Nick, was it?
No, you don't drink much.
No.
What's yours, Chris? Chris, what's yours?
Mine, oh, crikey. Mine was probably Air United, and I'm going back before most of you were born.
That's a Texaco Cup or something?
Texaco Cup, yeah. I think it was... via lots of drinking establishments, it was probably about a day and a half.
Wow.
Yeah.
Actually, while we're all here, did anyone else, when we got in the Europa, did anyone else go to any of the ways?
No.
No, unfortunately, I couldn't. No, I didn't. No.
No,
none of us.
no.
No.
All the home, I was the same as you. I was
Bruges
all the homes.
is
I couldn't get to an away.
Nigel Mann says his longest journey was Villa to Birmingham, 20 pubs. I'll never forget it. Yeah, there you go. So a little bit of reaction there. Stephen Gull, I think the WSL is the best league in the world, next to the Spanish league, and then the American league is third. Would you put that in that order, Aoife?
Okay.
Not in that order. No,
No.
I wouldn't.
No.
I'd say the French league, in terms of the top two teams, we're talking about best teams in Europe. It's just that there's such a disparity between the bottom leagues in France and the top. Like we're talking about, being like 7-8-0 or whatever. And historically, it's been quite competitive in England. So maybe that's why he said Spain. Spain's definitely up and coming. To think that Real Madrid are only just making a team,
That's amazing.
Same with Man U, actually. Only made their team a couple of years ago.
Wow.
So it's definitely going in the right direction. Kez, what would you say? Top 3 leagues in the world?
I was about, it's got to be us, America, maybe Germany. I'd say Germany.
Doesn't Italy feature it? Italy doesn't feature in it at all. I thought they were big in the women's game. No.
Yeah, there's got a couple of teams. I know a couple of girls that have gone to Italy. I think probably more for the lifestyle than the actual football.
Yeah, don't blame them.
Excuse me. Lee Malin says his was Blythe Spartans in the Cup. And Chris Brown, the longest journey coming home from Main Road, 1975 FA Cup semi-final. My dad went to that one. And I stood outside, we lived in Warwick at the time, stood outside the house with a radio to me ear, sobbing.
Yeah, I did that. That was on a Tuesday night, that was. Yeah, it was horrible, that was. Yeah.
Sobbing.
In the Kippax, yeah. John Donahue says, Aofie and Kerys, you're a credit to Birmingham, lovely personalities and currently on the best talk show in the business. Whoa. Yeah. We like him. We like him.
Yeah.
We won't disagree with anything he said.
We like him.
We talk more often.
Yeah.
Is he on the Christmas list now, Chris?
I love him.
Tony?
And I want all his children.
Chris?
Yep.
Is he on the Christmas list now?
Definitely.
John? Yeah, definitely.
Definitely.
He's going to get a sticker.
Yeah, I got some stickers, yeah. Nigel Mann says, ever thought of going into football university, learning about the game off the field management, stadium, commerciality, etc., says Nigel, if you can understand that, girls.
I know quite a few girls who have done, it's like degrees like called sport directorship, stuff like that. Kez, don't know if you know a few people. It's definitely most people who want to stay in football, they want to be a coach, they want to be on the field, they want to be the next best thing.
Yeah, and do you want to stay in football when you've finished? I mean, it's a long way to go, but
I do. I really want to stay in football. I don't know about you, Kez.
Yeah, I think, I've got, even now, I've always taught alongside my football. So even down in London, I've got myself like a little job.
Have you, Kez?
Yeah, I've got a little jobby.
Great. That's
I'm
so
lecturing.
good.
Lecturing. It's weird. So I've got a Tottenham tracksuit. Then I'm also lecturing for Watford football clubs like education department. So I have to wear Watford tracksuit as well, which I kind of keep quiet. just on a Monday, that's all, and I'll take it straight off. But yeah, like when I was at Birmingham, I used to teach at Wolverhampton Uni as well. So yeah, and I'm teaching on a football coaching module at the minute, so I'm really enjoying that.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, I'll either go to teaching, or I've got a few business ideas actually, which I'm thinking about as well. I won't give them away just yet, but
exclusive.
Yeah,
As I will
definitely
never forget.
All right, Kerys, we're off air now, Doc.
Sorry, do you know, my computer keeps freezing as well, so I'm talking, but I don't even know if you can hear me properly.
No.
Yeah, we can hear you.
We can hear you.
Yeah. Actually, if you weren't in football, what would you girls be doing? What would you like to have done if you weren't in football?
I'm going to bore the head off you and say that I'd probably be an accountant. It kind of maths just kind of runs in the family a little bit, and so I think I would have done that. My mom is an accountant, a couple of my uncles are, and so yeah. Sorry, I feel like I should say something more exciting.
Let down.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you feel something like that. Everyone's left. Yeah.
What about you, Kerys?
I think when I was young, I wanted to be a police officer, but probably not so much now. So maybe that, or a PE teacher, I think.
Yeah, no, I can see you as a police officer. That'd be good.
See, I couldn't be a PE teacher. I've got 2 left feet. I've got no coordination, none whatsoever. I can't do any sports. I used to play badminton. That was it.
That's a great sport.
Oh, superb.
To be honest, Nick, it didn't stop Endoy.
Now I got picked on by the sports teachers at school because I was useless.
Yeah.
I just couldn't do it. What's the point in trying to teach me something that I can't do?
Yeah.
Have we lost? Is Kerry still there? Have we lost her?
Yeah.
Oh, you back?
She's back. She's back.
Time to move. My signal's rubbish.
Oh, she's setting up there. Jason says, would Aofie ever coach the Blues women's team when she finished the beautiful game?
That would be like a dream. That would be a dream, to be in some form of capacity at Blues. Is there nothing better than that?
No.
Like doing your career, going off and doing your thing or whatever, and then coming back to the place where it all began and giving back in whatever way. And look, if it wasn't coaching, if I was not good enough to do that, then there'd be something else that I could do. Hopefully they'd have me in some
You could be the accountant there, Eve.
You know what? I could just lay out.
You've grown a Christmas tree.
Yeah, I had to move. My signal was going. Do you like it? Look, nice.
Right. Oh, we've lost Nick now.
Angel at the top.
That looks really good. That does.
Very nice. Did you decorate that yourself, Kerys?
No, I didn't actually. My parents did it, so I wasn't in at the time.
Oh, that one's nice.
That's yours. Very nice. Nice and shiny. Look at all those presents.
Lots of presents.
The only thing I am coordinated at is my Christmas tree. That's it. Everything is symmetrical on that tree. And if there's a ball of one shape on one branch, there has to be a ball of the same shape on the opposite.
Look at mine.
Is that all you've got, Chris? Is that yours?
That's no. We're really poor in Solihull.
Here's mine.
Come on, Eve, show your tree off. Hey.
We've got sweets though.
I'm in my office and I haven't got anything Christmassy in here whatsoever. No, got nothing to show you.
I'm in my padded cell. I ain't got nothing.
Steve Portman has confirmed that I walk better after 6 pints.
Yep.
Oh dear. Right, okay. Let's have a look.
I've got one from Craig here.
Yeah, I was looking for that one. Thanks, Chris.
Got it. He says, who did Aofie and Kerys get on with most from the men's team? I'm guessing when you were at Blues.
Yeah. When we were talking earlier about bumped into players and stuff, we actually did at Birmingham. That was the one good thing, and I think that's really good. I think because the complex is just a little bit smaller. We bumped into the men's players quite a bit, and especially if you're injured, you do your physio and your rehab in the gym with some of the guys. And I really liked Gary and Craig Gardner. They were really nice, really easy to talk to. Dukey as well is another one. And we obviously we did our end of season dues with the men as well at the ICC, and that was, you know, we'd sit on the tables with them, and Dukey was always lovely. He was the other one, and
Carly
then David
one,
Stockdale. He was a laugh.
Yeah, he was
he just
funny.
proper like northern lad, and he was funny. I don't know about
was
you.
Always in the physio room, wasn't he?
Oh yeah, he was always, I mean, in the physio rather than actually playing.
Yeah. Kez, in that year, like after I'd gone, were you with the men even more, or was it still like obviously most of the time? At Blues,
probably saw them a little bit more. Yeah, I think we started to use the gym a little bit more at the men's training ground, so we had more access there. So we'd bump into the guys a little bit more. So yeah.
Fantastic. Paul, did we sort out a 1 to 11 for Kerys?
I believe so. Yes, we did. Yeah.
Kerys?
Yeah, we did.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
You ready for us all to completely roast you and your choices?
It was a bit short notice for you, Aoife, but what we do is we ask our special guests to pick their all-time team from the players they played with for Blues.
Aoife, you're not a special guest.
You didn't have long.
Look, who was meant to be here? Who dropped out? Tell me who dropped out.
Nobody. Something you've ever done before. If you've done it before, then obviously you can share yours with us as well. But I just thought it might be a bit short notice. But it's a team from the best players you played with for Blues.
Do you know what? I will help you guys grill Kez's.
Yeah. I included some of the men as well. We were talking about mixed teams earlier, so I've done my Ultimate 11
mixed one as well. Then we'll allow that.
That's a great idea. Yeah, we'll do that.
So I had, so in goal I had to have Anne-Katrin Berger.
She was brilliant.
Brilliant. She's probably one of the ones who I think could have potentially played in the men's. Like she's built like big goalkeeper, but just brilliant she was.
To know what she went through as well while she was at the club.
That's it, yeah.
Earlier, they asked her, how did you all take that, as a team, that news, awful news when she got cancer.
I remember her telling us, she stood up at the end of training and just said it, and she's such a reserved and private character. She said that as though she was telling you what she was about to eat for dinner later, and we were near crying kind of thing. We were really emotional, and obviously at this point she's processed it a little bit more, and she, you wouldn't really know unless you knew that's what she was going through, and it must have been such a scary and uncertain time for her. I can't remember I'm trying to remember the first game she played back, and I remember the huddle before the game being quite emotional. We get so wound up with the little things in football, and stuff like that just shows you what it's about.
Super late. Had her on a show one night, and she was absolutely brilliant. Loved it.
Yeah,
absolutely loved it.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah.
So what do you reckon anyway, Aoife? What do you reckon? Do you reckon you're in Kerys' team before she goes any further?
No, I'm not.
I best put her in now. Quick. No,
take
Aoife wouldn't know anyway.
The only reason, Kerys, that we surprised you with Aoife.
Yeah, so I had Anne-Katrin in goal. Right back was a difficult one because got a good friend, Chelsea Weston. So I was going to put her in, but then I've decided to go Stephen Carr. But it's funny because they're both very similar players, like proper defenders, get stuck in, quite small, but like little terriers. So I don't think she'll mind me putting him in over her. But the reason I put him in was just to even, I'd already had 2 female defenders in, so I thought I'd best put another male in. Equality and diversity and all that,
I've said on here before what a comeback story Stephen Carr is. People forget that he actually retired from the game.
He retired, yeah.
And then he came out of retirement, came to play for us, and lifted the League Cup. What a story that is!
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Brilliant. Yeah. So I had him at right back. Left back was Paul Robinson. It's got to be Robbo. He's just a legend in it. And again, he just gets stuck in, no nonsense.
Happy birthday to him for today as well.
Happy birthday, Robbo. Yeah, I dropped him a little message earlier. Bless him. He was another one. Like we'd bump into Robbo all the time at the training ground. He was lovely. Like so easy to talk to. Just a nice person. He'd always come over and see how we were getting on training. As the women's team. So yeah, Robbo's legend, isn't he?
Yeah.
2 centre backs. Who was it, Eve? It was you and Bass.
No, it's just say who it was.
No, I haven't put you. You and Bass.
Oh, God,
Yeah.
I feel so bad now. Oh, I can't believe that. Thank you. I wouldn't have put myself in.
That's it. I should have put myself in the team really, but I thought because Aoife's a true blue nose, and she's got to be in there. But obviously for Aoife's ability, not just that, but your obviously ability as well, and you're a young player who's got a lot of potential, for the rest of your years. So hopefully one day we'll have her back as Blues captain. What do you reckon?
Yeah.
We're only 5 years behind you, Kez. So quickly.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. So yeah, Bass as well, Laura Bassett. Just lead. She was my captain when I was coming through at Birmingham. So again, she's a proper defender, gets stuck in, but just good character as well. Although she's a leader, she can have a laugh at the same time. So Bass was in there. And then moving on to midfield, I had Kaz Carney on the wing.
Got to be.
Had to get Kaz in there again, another Blues legend. And yeah, just her ability, prime. She could take on anyone, and score some really important goals for us as well.
Yeah,
so
doing well for herself as a pundit now as well.
She is,
on
yeah.
Yeah, you can't keep her off the TV now.
No.
She's there, isn't she?
Yeah,
Reading the news next week.
She'll be on Strictly Come Dancing next week.
I can see.
Well, she
her
actually
on
used to dance, so she would be good. I think she used to do break dancing, I think. So she'd be the perfect person to have on there.
I know that I won't be on it.
No,
Yeah. Right wing had Pedersen. Remember Pedersen? No, Larson. Sorry, Larson, not Pedersen. Larson. Seb Larson.
Seb Larson.
I remember him kind of sticking out as he's one of the players that I remember from a few years back. So creative winger. So put him in there as right wing, and then. In centre midfield, I had Jude's got to go in there, I think. Just, young player, his ability. And just nice lad. He's very grounded. Again, another one I'd speak to at the training ground. Just humble, and I think that a lot of youngsters nowadays don't have that. I think they're kind of interested, they're bothered about the money and flash cars and Instagram and how they look on social media, as he just came across as a genuine lads, and I think his parents helped with that. I've heard of his parents, so good honest people as well. So
I've heard that.
Put Jude in there,
Yeah.
and that's put Hayley Ladd in there as well. Couldn't miss her.
That's a lovely little shout. That is, very underrated player.
Yes, Hayley's like, I can't just compare it to she's like just break up the play basically, defensive midfielder, break up the play, and then just give it to Jude. He'll give it to Kaz. He'll give it to the forwards, and they do the job. But yeah, just goes unnoticed. But she's at Man U now. She got Man U's player of the season last year, so it's good to see that she didn't go unnoticed there. But very good player. So that's midfield, and then up top, had to have Ellen up there. Obviously, we've already mentioned a lot about Ellen. Best striker I've ever played with. Top professional and good person. And then Super Jeff Horsfield.
Jeff Horsfield.
Yeah. So
good team. And who would be the captain?
I put Bass. Yeah, Laura Bassett. She's a good leader. So
yeah.
So guys, because we put the team that you've picked up, we put it on Twitter later on, and then everybody goes, "Whew, what?" And
yeah, I'll have to wait to see everyone's reactions. But one day I've played with these players, so I know what they're like, especially on the women's side. So yeah.
Hey, you know what? It must be a curry night tonight. I've had a curry. Aoife's had a curry, and
what curry did you have?
I had what was it? Pork. Pork curry. Yeah.
I've never had a pork curry.
Yeah,
I've never had a pork curry.
Do you know what I did with my curry? I blended the onion and the garlic. Usually you chop it. I just chucked it in the blender. I didn't have much. I was rushing to get on here, so I just chucked it in the blender.
To a
so
paste.
nice, Yeah.
Okay.
Special, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay. And Brenda's just said, "Hi all, just got in, so having my curry."
Hey, go on, Brenda.
Having it.
And go on. Question for me.
Have I ever mentioned it's my birthday on Christmas Day?
No.
Is it?
Really?
Yeah.
Don't encourage him.
Really?
Honestly.
That's why he calls himself Saint Nick.
I have actually got you a present, Nick, but unfortunately,
I'll be over.
because of the Tia situation, you can't have it.
Probably a bag of wasabi peas, knowing you.
Well, it's a thought that counts, isn't it? I thought about it.
Just to remind everyone, we've got our Christmas special next week, haven't we? On Monday, we get with the one and only Cameron Jerome.
Cameron Jerome,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, nice, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Be a good one, that one,
It's a
yeah.
throwback, isn't it? Cameron Jerome.
Yeah,
Wow.
Cameron Jerome, yeah.
can't
Yeah, he was so quick, wasn't he? He was a very good player.
Powerful, wasn't he? Powerful player.
Very, very powerful, yeah, very fast, powerful. And that goal at Liverpool always sticks in everyone's mind.
Oh yeah, what a goal!
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Fucking goal.
Yeah. So we look forward to that.
Yeah.
There you go. Peter Taylor's having a prawn curry.
Hey,
And Steve
Dyson, yeah.
Wait, Monday night, the new Saturday night, is it?
Yeah.
Curry Club, Tilton Curry Club.
Yes.
Steve
Chris
Portman's had
Brown,
baked
could you do me a
beans.
favour? Could you keep your eye on the comments because my computer's hung again, mate.
Okay, yeah. Steve Portman
Even
says,
though I've had Christmas, please.
all I've had is baked beans with bread and butter.
I had
Oh,
soup tonight, leek and potato soup with crusty hot bread.
Oh, nice. Can't go wrong. Love that.
We had pasta and meatballs.
Why'd you
I
push
might
over
stir
me?
fry in a bit.
Yeah.
Or stir fry.
So what does the week obviously lie ahead now for you? Have you got a game in the week at all, both of you? Well, obviously, I know, Aofie, you're injured at the moment, but have your teams got a game in the week now? Do you get many games in the week as well, or is it just mainly weekend?
we've got a home game. We got the home leg of Champions League against Gothenburg Wednesday, and then we have my beloved Birmingham away.
Oh, is it?
At home
Blues,
for
yeah.
Birmingham next
Oh, yeah.
Sunday,
Oh, that
and then
must
we
be
break for
difficult.
Christmas.
Yeah. Do you have a Christmas
Yeah,
party?
we've
Do you
got-
have a Christmas party, by the way, girls?
We would, but obviously
Yeah, not now.
COVID, you
Of
know.
course, yeah.
Yeah.
But we had
About
some
you,
great
Kerys, you
Christmas
got a game,
parties. Yeah. We had just talking about Christmas parties. We had some brilliant Christmas parties at Blues.
Oh,
Remember the one? I think it was the first one that Dong was here, and he basically splashed all this cash on all these like nice gifts, didn't he? And, like one of the girls won the
they
PlayStation
won a trip
3.
to New York, didn't they?
Yeah, and one of the
Really?
girls won a trip to New York, but because she'd already left, because this was about 1 o'clock in the morning, they announced this prize. It was Shania, wasn't it? Shania had won the prize because she wasn't there to collect it. They gave it to someone else.
No!
Oh,
She won a trip to New York. We tried to claim it for her, but they were like having none of it, and then this other person won. Yeah, we had some good Christmas parties. To be
It's
fair.
not right, is it? Yeah.
I know. Yeah.
That sounds
That's
like
crazy,
something to do.
And thinking about curries, Michael Woods has just put that John Majors haven't had wiener curry.
Very
Have to be
good.
age to understand that.
Yeah.
We've got Chelsea this weekend, so preparing for that, and then we've got Christmas break, and then we've got Blues as well.
Oh, dear.
It's going to be weird. Like, it's
Don't
gonna
you
be,
dare do a Dini on us. Don't you dare do a Dini.
Yeah, somebody just
Hello.
says that. Don't.
yeah, it's going to be weird. Like
It's
coming
gonna
up
be,
against
yeah.
them again, really weird. But I guess once you're in the moment, you just
Yeah.
play, don't you? But
It
I'll
must-
make sure I don't score that game.
Yeah, it must be hard. It must be hard, but it's your job.
That's it.
You've got to do a job. Haven't you? Yeah. I'm going to shut up now.
I couldn't score against them, though. Even if I was a professional, I couldn't do it. I'd just duff it.
Well,
Well, I'd
you
duff
do-
it anyway. I'm absolutely awful. So
You dribble the ball the opposite way and score an own goal. Is that what you do?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Right, a serious message in from Paul Sterndale now, just to let everybody know that I've got my appointment with a specialist on Wednesday. Fingers crossed I'm all clear from prostate cancer. All the very best to you, my
Fingers crossed. Thinking of you.
and keep right on, keep fighting.
Yeah.
All the best, Paul.
Yeah,
Adam
all
Wilson,
the best.
Brown, can you take WhatsApp, please?
I'm on it now, yeah. Adam says, could the girls mention Holly's 9th birthday tomorrow?
Happy
Over to
birthday,
you.
Holly!
Over
She sent me a little picture before, didn't
Yeah,
you? Of
yeah.
me and Holly. Must be a few years back now. You mentioned that obviously Adam had got in touch to say, and I was trying to think of the right moment to get it in. Now here it is. Holly, happy 9th birthday. Hope you have a lovely day. I know you probably won't get to celebrate it as much as you can with COVID times, but I hope that you still get some lovely presents and that you get a double whammy at Christmas. So, yeah, happy birthday.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
And from all of us at the Tilton Talk Show, a very happy birthday, Holly. Happy birthday to you.
Yeah.
It's my birthday,
Happy
Christmas
Holly.
Day.
Yes, we know.
Will
Yeah.
you both be watching us against Cardiff on Wednesday night?
Oh yeah,
Tune in.
yeah, definitely.
Oh, Cardiff, that's always an interesting game, isn't it? A bit of a, might be a physical battle, that one, I don't know. Certainly the Cardiff of old anyway. I don't know what they're like nowadays, but yeah.
Yeah, they've picked up a bit recently because the business I work for, the head office is in Caerphilly in Wales, so a lot of them are Cardiff fans. So I have been sort of kept up to date with their actions as well, Cardiff City. And yeah, I don't know. What do we reckon? We might as well do the predictions now then, might we, Nick?
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, to be right. Cardiff slipped up the weekend, didn't they? Got beat.
Yeah, they lost 2-0 at home to Swansea. Yeah, they're
So,
Okay.
they'll be a bit wounded. I hope they don't take it out on us.
I'm going to go with 2-1 to Blues.
Okay.
Okay.
And
I'm
I think
gonna go-
we'll revert back to the team, or the best part of the team that he had for the Reading game.
Yeah, I hope so.
okay. Mark?
I'm going to go 1-1, 1-1. I think we'll get a point. I'll take a point, to be fair. I think that's decent. Yeah.
Kerys?
I was going to say, I was thinking 2-1, so I'll go with you, Nick. Be optimistic.
Aoife?
Yeah, 2-1. 2-1. I'm going to go 2-1.
Oh, I don't want to say 2-1 as well. I was going to say 2-1, but I'm not going to say 2-1 now. It sounds like I'm just copying.
You can say
I'll go
2-1
for
if you want.
No, I'm going to go for 2-0. I'm going to go for 2-0.
I hope it's
I'm going to go for a cheeky 1-0 to us.
a cheeky 1-0.
A cheeky 1-0.
Cheeky 1-0.
Steve Portman has just said Cardiff was a bit damp last season. A bit damp. I have
Oh,
never
yeah,
been
soaking.
so cold and wet in all my life. If it wasn't for me good old Auntie Linda giving me that poncho, dead.
Auntie Linda to the rescue.
Right.
Yeah, it's like a monsoon, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, yeah.
still got the-
Can I just
I
do
mean,
a quick, Nick?
Yeah.
Can I just do a quick shout out for Paul Sterndale? He says, just let you all know, I've got my appointment with specialist on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed, I'm all clear from prostate cancer. So,
I did that 2 minutes ago.
oh, did you? Oh, sorry, I didn't
Yeah.
see you. All right, okay. Well, good luck.
He's
anyway,
only
Paul.
got one job, honestly.
You do. It's usually
must
the other
keep
way
an eye.
around. Yeah, it's usually Nick that does that.
You must be keeping an eye on the
Yeah,
chat
you.
box.
Yeah.
Can I just, on that note, can I just say something as well? I don't know if you guys heard recently a blue nose, massive blue nose, and he was one of our academy coaches on the women's side, Dean Prentice.
Yes.
Oh,
Really
yeah.
tragically
Yeah.
lost his life. I think it was last week or the week before, and I just want to seen the perfect opportunity. You know, he'd have loved to have gotten a shout out on this show.
He did.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, just obviously we're all, you know, gutted for him and his family, but just passing our condolences on to them this time. But you know, nicest guy I've ever met, Dean, lovely, and just really sad. But I just wanted to give him a shout out because I know he was a true blue nose, and he'd have loved to have got a mention on the show. So
Yeah. We did it last week. Kerys mentioned it
did
at the beginning of last week's show. Yeah.
Lovely man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dave told Chris Brown his mic was going to break in a minute.
No, it's still going. It's still going.
Normally we have a crazy last 15 minutes.
Back
but
up,
we
Mike.
tend to go, you know what?
Go on.
I'm not going to do it this week because this conversation has just been so interesting
It
tonight.
has, yeah.
We're just going to carry on with it.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Who's going to say something then?
Craig's just reminding us that we've got loads of new guests to come after Christmas and the New Year, and we're going to tell you about them next week.
We're lining them up.
We have got some absolute belters.
Who's your all-time favourite guest then? Would you say?
That's a good question.
Each of you.
Well,
Who's
you mean
your
before
favourite
tonight?
and why?
Before tonight, obviously. You mean?
Yeah, obviously before tonight. Yeah, obviously it's me and Aoife, but
I like that answer.
For me personally, Big Joe Gallagher.
That was a good one.
Because he played in the first game that my dad ever took me to, and I got to sit at a table and talk to the man. My dad kept telling me, keep your eye on that number 5, Joe Gallagher. Keep your eye on that number 5, Joe Gallagher. And to sit and, you know, my dad's passed away now, 6-7 years ago. But to sit and be able to talk to the man that my dad was talking to me about on my very first game back in the 70s,
Brilliant.
That was for me personally one of the best ones. Like one of the most emotional ones, if you know what I mean. But we had so many. Paul,
I think for me, that I love them all, but I think one of my standout ones was when we had Paul Robinson and Tom Ross in the actual studio. And also Jeff Horsfield and Martin O'Connor we've had as well in the studio.
I enjoyed
But Martin Granger as well was a great show on here when we did this in the summer, and Robbie Savage stands out. But they're all really good. I enjoy all of them. I like them all.
I loved them.
What about Lee Clark? What about Lee Clark? Come on.
Lee Clark was fantastic.
That's good.
Lee Clark.
That was
Brilliant.
So
no, they've all been good.
I'm not going to say an even. I'm not going to say and even like it's demeanour or anything. Roy Smillich the other week. Wow.
What fantastic guest. Yeah.
That was just super. And you know what? This one tonight's also up there.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely.
Like, you know, we don't give the ladies' game, women's game. It's women's now, isn't it? We have to be politically correct. We don't give the women's game enough time on the show. I'll be honest with you, and that's why it's great to get you guys on to get your perspective of what goes on one thing or another throughout the course of a week or throughout the course of an injury even, and to get your thoughts on the men's team, on the ladies' team, on the international scene, and everything. We've talked about curry tonight.
Oh, Aoife's top cooking tips. It'll be a weekly fixture, I think, won't it? Aoife's top cooking.
This is where I tell you that I'm actually sponsored by a curry company.
Aoife, you could use this platform to sort your career after football. You can be like the next Joe Wicks with your own curry recipes or something. You got to use moments like this for your own publicity.
I think Paul Devlin and Michael Johnson's shows were really good as well, weren't they? Michael Johnson, his story about his race with Louis Donowa when he first came. That was a funny story, wasn't it?
Ian Danter was about her as well.
That's right.
That was before my time, that one.
Yeah, we've had him twice, and I think he's going to come on again as well.
Graham Brown says for me, Robbie Savage, Benji Smith's going Robbie Savage, Jason McDonald, Robbie Savage.
Gotta be.
Nigel Mann wants to know who's been the most boring. Well, Nigel, I
was about to say, what's been the worst one? That's what I was going to ask next.
I can absolutely tell you, it was 10 years ago when we had plastic microphones and I interviewed Chris Brown.
Yeah, that was boring. I know. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Oh dear.
I've got to agree with a lot of people there. I've got to agree with them. I think Robbie Savage was a fantastic,
brilliant.
Night. And you know what? Because I'm on here, I'm changing cameras for people, so you're highlighting that, but for a large part of that show, I forgot to change the cameras. So Robbie's speaking, and you've got a picture of Nick picking his nose. I was just absolutely enthralled listening to it. So for me, that was the best one.
It made me laugh when he went to look for his suit, because when he was at Blues, he was telling us about a suit that he had with like a fake diamond number 8 on it.
Yep.
And he went to look for it. He was going to give it us, weren't he, to auction?
Yeah.
And he must have been gone. He must have been gone 10 minutes. He only went to his bedroom from his living room. That's how big his house is.
Yeah.
He come back in floods of sweat.
He come back and he needed a shave. He was got
Yeah. Adam Wilkes saying his favourite guest was Alex Song. Get Jasper on as a big shout. We could try that, Mr. Courtney, please. And a question for Aoife: is Emma Follis still on your Christmas card list from Big Sing?
I don't send Christmas cards, but if I did,
great answer.
Oh yeah!
That's
don't forget,
great
we need to shout out regarding the signed ball and the teams left for the shirt. So if you go onto our page, our group page, you'll see all the details there. But give us your money, basically.
Richard Beale, we had Richard Beale on as well.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah.
That is not.
That's good.
Oh, that was it. Yeah.
Ian Bennett.
Oh,
Ian
yeah.
Bennett,
Benno, yeah.
That's funny on.
Dave Twine says every show is like Christmas every day. I'm glad it's not, because I'll be about 1,000 years old.
Got a controversial question. You ready?
Oh, go on then.
Go on.
Aoife,
When are you going to get Dong on the show?
I'd love to.
He's welcome.
Can you imagine that?
Okay.
Very welcome.
Good. I hope he does that.
Gas Panos.
Those are the people you want to get hold of, isn't it? The higher up ones, and they're the ones you want to ask the really probing questions, isn't it?
Yeah. We keep trying. We tried for years to get Panos in, but
Aoife, one for you. And no, one for you both, actually. Try a teaspoonful of Marmite in your curry from Liam Alien. Absolutely beautiful.
Oh, wow.
I love Marmite.
See, I don't
Yeah, I
like
do
it,
as well,
but I guess if it's mixed in a curry, maybe I might like it a bit more. I don't know.
Just a bit of yeast in it.
It's all easier.
Wouldn't that be like a Bovril curry?
The Bovril curry.
Bovril curry.
You love the
Now
Bovril,
that-
don't you? Eve?
Now that's something I think
Yeah.
someone should trademark. Oh,
Bovril curry.
My brother used to put my brother used to put Bovril on his toast instead of Marmite. He used to put Bovril on.
oh.
Yeah. It's disgusting.
We're pushing it now. We're pushing it.
Right, Pete Taylor wants to know, Chris, how much my wrinkly balls are going for at the minute.
I've no idea.
I'll put a price on them.
How have we gone from curry to that?
Adam Wilkes, Aoife and Kerys, Balti pies, yes or no?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
definitely. Bought
No.
pie and chips. Used to have it as a kid when I was younger. Bought pie and chips at the football.
Yeah,
Yeah, curry pie, Balti pie. Yeah.
Balti pies.
definitely.
So, Aoife, when are you hoping to play again now? When do you think you might be back playing?
I'm hoping close to the start of next year. So,
Okay.
you know, I've actually been out. I'm actually 1 year today post surgery. So,
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
yeah, 1 year
Yeah.
today. I'm actually about 14 months out. And when you start knocking up past 9 months, you know that actually I'm not able to predict. I'm saying it's going to be weeks rather than months, but I probably would have said that, you know, a few weeks ago and a few weeks before that. So I'm
Yeah.
hoping January rather than March, if you get me, but I really don't know.
With an,
I'd like to know as well. I keep asking.
yeah, I'm sure you would.
every
But
day.
with an ACL injury, if you don't do as you're told and take the time to get it right, then you are going to do yourself more damage. And I know that because I had awful trouble with my right knee when I was a youngster.
Yeah, for sure. You know,
Well, all the best with it. It'd be great to see you back out there soon.
thank you. I
definitely.
cannot wait. You know, I can't wait.
Yeah. Yeah, it must be so
Okay, for the
frustrating,
sign-
isn't it?
but it's £2 for one go or £5 for 3 goes on the signed football. Get in touch with Craig Courtney, Chris, myself, Paul, or Mark, and we'll get you some numbers sorted out. But we're going to fill the cards up before we release the ball. Yeah.
Yeah.
Liam Dash's shirt is also up for auction. Start making your offers on that one.
I'm going to put the picture up of that just so that people can remember what it looks like. It's on the wall over there. So yeah, there's Liam Dash's
Beautiful, isn't
signed shirt.
Superb.
It's a cracker.
Jason Donner says, I follow Aoife's injury story on Instagram and all her home workouts. And Aoife, when's your next curry and what's it going to be?
My last curry was about an hour ago. My next curry is probably tomorrow.
I thought you were going to say.
Eve, I haven't seen your home workouts in a while. Have you? Obviously, I'm assuming you're not really doing them as much anymore.
In the lockdown, when we were at home, obviously I was able to go a bit rogue and I was filming everything. But now we're in the training grounds. Obviously, you can't really have your phone out filming everything as much. And I think I was a bit lonely when I was at home, so that was my way of interact with people. You know,
Yeah, exactly. I'm sure you got a few comments from the
yeah.
nature
So
of the video.
many
What was on
people say that they like watch them and stuff. And to be honest, it was probably more for me than anyone else. You know, I just wanted a bit of interaction, and I get that now in the training ground. So that's fallen by the wayside a little bit.
Just a quick one from me, really. How strict are your clubs regarding social media? Do they say to you, you can't do this and you can't do that and so forth and so forth? Do they?
We do a little bit of media training, you know.
Oh, right,
You
okay.
just have to be careful what you do say. I love the honest interviews. I like, you know, interesting questions, and you know, you get taught about what message you want to put out, and we want it to be positive. We want it to be uplifting. We don't want to say things where one sentence can be something totally different out of context. And in a way, you know, sometimes
Question
that
for
makes...
both of you. We've got 2 minutes left, guys.
Yeah.
How would you encourage young girls now to get into football? But for both of you, I want both of you takes on that one, please, if you could.
Yeah, I think for me, like, I've always when I was younger, I played with boys. You know, I played with boys up until I was about 10. So and I think that's made me the player I am today in terms of my physicality and like aggressiveness and that competitiveness. I think I always wanted to prove myself against the boys, so that's why I'm so competitive. So I think try and play with the boys for as long as you can, until you do have to or play both. You know, some young girls now play with the boys and the girls. So that would be my advice. I don't know about you, Eve.
Join a team and play. There's loads of teams now. Join one and play.
Yeah. As simple as that, really.
Good stuff. Well. I cannot simply believe that hour and a half's gone, Chris. I just can't.
Blown by.
We've gone over.
Unreal.
Just flies by, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does go by quick. Yeah.
You know what? It's been such an interesting show tonight. It really genuinely has.
Been really refreshing, hasn't it?
Anybody out there that's got some decent curry recipes, get Aoife on Twitter, follow Aoife on Twitter, and let's get her bombarded with decent curry.
Yes, hell yes.
Aoife, very quick curry question: cardamoms or no cardamoms?
Cardamon's in the rice. Cardamon's in the rice, and then take them out, obviously.
Oh,
I said cardigans.
I'm not saying that word's too posh for me. I don't know what that means.
Cardamom pods. Little pods you put in and
they're
absolutely,
don't they? Beautiful.
Gosh, I do sound like a connoisseur.
You do, yeah.
That's right. An hour and a half has just flown by. What an interesting conversation with you, Per, tonight. We really genuinely thank you from the bottom of our hearts for bringing us your take on all things tonight. Really do appreciate you giving your time up. Please, you're very welcome to come on again. You're in the queue now, though, because we've got quite a few stacked up.
Thanks for having us. It's been a pleasure, and good luck with your future shows. It's good to hear you're all, doing really well and getting some really fantastic guests on. So thanks for having us on, and good luck for I'll be tuning in for sure on a Monday now. So.
Good luck for the rest of the season as well to you both, and have a good Christmas as well.
Mate.
Thank you. Thanks so much. Thank you. Thanks.
And have a nice Christmas.
Have a good Christmas.
Oh, it's my birthday.
Have a good birthday.
Good night, everybody.
Got to give us a keep right on. Keep right on to wrap the show up.
Keep right on.
Absolutely.
Keep right on.
Are you a blue nose yourself?
Me? Yeah.
No, I know you are.
Kerys,
no, I am deep down, but my dad raised me now being a fan, but no,
okay.
I still look out for the Blues score, especially obviously the women. So.
Nice one. Well, what a great take that's been tonight. Thanks, guys, again for giving your time up. And this has been the Tilton Talk Show, sponsored by Boyle Sports and in conjunction with SAS Autos, our good friends at Borsey Labour Club, and the Garrison Coffee Company. Don't forget, we go out on Switch Radio tomorrow night, 10 o'clock, the only football bloggers in the world to go out on mainstream radio, eh? Mainstream radio, that is brilliant. Kerys, thank you so very much indeed. Bless you. Have a great Christmas and take good care. And stay safe.
On you.
Aoife, you little star, you little star. Get yourself sorted out, mate. Get yourself back on that pitch, because can't wait to see you playing again. And, when you come down to the Blues, I hope we give you a good battering. Sorry.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mark Adams.
Good evening, all.
Ladies and gentlemen, Aoife Mannion.
See you later.
Ladies and gentlemen, Paul Hipkiss.
Good night, all.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kerys Harrow.
Good night, everyone.
Mrs. Brown.
Good night, all.
Stay safe. Probably going to stay in Tier 3 round here tomorrow. So, we ain't going to have any work this side of probably January, February. So, I can't decorate the kitchen again. Take care, guys. All the best. See you next Monday. Thanks, guys.
Good night.
We'll support you till the end of the day. We're so happy.